Are you living the Delaware Beach lifestyle? You can't live at the beach and do nothing. This up-and-coming year-round area has lots to offer. Find out where to eat, play, and serve, living the ultimate dream.
Hey, welcome to the 302 Lifestyle Beach Podcast. You got Dylan Ewing as your host, and we have Andrea Jenson with Cashflow CFO. Just a little info. Andrea and her team have really been such a foundation for our business. After 9 years in business, it wasn't until a couple years ago we started having a complete understanding of the financial aspect of it. A lot of times as an entrepreneur or a business owner, you start, you dive headfirst into a lot of your projects and a lot of your big ideas, which is one of the great things about being a business owner. Sometimes that comes with a little bit of lack of understanding of some of the really important stuff. And you don't really notice it until you start growing, and some of these foundational pieces need better handle. So Andrea, you are just amazing. She's a wife, mother, soccer player, passionate volunteer. You help kids with cancer, holy cow, and thrive and shelter dogs to find their forever homes. That's what I'm curious about too. And in the midst of that, you are helping business owners understand their numbers and their business. And this all started from when you were younger. Mm-hmm. So Andrea, please dive in. Tell us how you got involved with all this and what you do now.
Awesome. Well, thanks. First of all, thank you for having me on today. I'm excited to chat with you and share some of this knowledge to other business owners who might be in a similar spot to where you were when we first started working together. So for me, entrepreneurship has been in my family. Both my parents, owned their own businesses. My dad was in the hospitality industry. So I really learned firsthand how to take care of people and really make them feel welcome. And, it really built some solid foundations for what it means to serve other people. And, learning that at such an early age really helped create, my outlook on how we treat our clients today. And even though we're not in the hospitality industry, we're in the finance industry, we've been able to pull little threads of that into our business. And I think that's one of the things that sets us apart. And I'll talk more about that, but let me first kind of take you back a little bit to how I ended up being an accountant, first of all. So I was playing college soccer, and I had to pick a degree. All I wanted to do was play ball. I was like, yeah, I'm here. I got to get an education. Cool. That's the bonus, right? And so I started taking business classes because that's what I, was surrounded with growing up. So I figured that's a clear path for me to take. And you have to take all of these, a lot of the different first level of all the different business subjects. So I started taking accounting classes, and I got an A in my first one. I was like, ooh, I didn't have to study too hard for that. That's pretty cool. So I'll take another one. And so I took the second level, then the third level, and I kept acing these classes. Wow. And so one day my professor pulled me aside and he said, this isn't something that just comes natural to people. Yeah. And I said, really? It's not? Like, I thought everybody did this. Yeah, and so, come to find out, that's just kind of how my brain was wired. And I enjoyed it, and it came, easy to me. And so that's kind of how I started down this path of the accounting / finance world. So fast forward, I graduated. Yeah, right. I'm one of those unique unicorns. So fast forward, finished college, first job out the gate. I went to work for a venture capital company, and worked there, was exposed to so much cool stuff with, entrepreneurs and getting funding for their businesses and seeing all of the deals and how the transactions came about and things like that. So I was definitely bit by the bug after working there. And I was like, yeah, this business thing is definitely for me. And I love it. Because, really as business owners, it's all one big puzzle. that we're trying to figure out, right?
Hmm.
So you've got the people, the marketing, the sales, the finances, and there's so many moving pieces. And so our job is to kind of put it all together so that it runs smooth and we're profitable. So
Yeah.
I really like that part.
Hopefully.
Yeah. That's the end goal for sure.
Yeah.
And so, I worked in corporate for a while and moved up the ranks. And um, I had my first daughter. She's 12 now, but when she was born with cancer. And so that's kind of how my work with cancer foundations for pediatric cancer came
Oh,
about.
wow.
But she, so we went through a couple years of some really tough times for her, and we were able to, thankfully, everything worked out, and she's happy and thriving now. But it really opened my eyes to, okay, I'm in this corporate job where I'm required to sit at this desk from this time to this time, and I do the same thing over and over and over again. And I said, I know there's more out there, right? So it was great experience, and I really was involved in some really high level accounting and finance stuff. So I got to see some really cool things and be a part of it. And then I stepped back and said, I want to take this information to small businesses, because it's really the small businesses that are creating change in the world, and they're finding problems and they're creating solutions. And, it allows them to solve something that will help other people, at the same time create personal wealth for them and their family.
Wow.
And so for me, I'm like, yeah, that's where I need to be.
Wow.
And,
So it sounds like you discovered your why through this process of realizing what's important in life. And wow, it's really interesting. I think a lot of people that I talk to, and myself included, it kind of takes that getting knocked down a peg or kind of taking a step back. And, unfortunately, sometimes it's something tragic or something, really like shakes you and say, oh my gosh, like there's actually a lot more important things here. Let me kind of get out of my routine and find something that I'm passionate about. And that's when you realize that, small businesses are the backbone of every community, really.
yeah,
They provide employment and jobs. And then if the business owners aren't happy, no one's happy in the business. So and I think a lot of that is money, and money is like one of the biggest stressors of marriages and couples and businesses and all that stuff.
mhm,
So you being so talented with that, you're able to offer that type of peace and it flourishes all throughout their life. Like I know with us, wow, we sleep a lot better at night knowing our numbers. So,
yeah.
oh, so awesome. So now, kind of walk us through what's going on now. What can people expect? And I can go on and on about what you've done for us, but let's plug in people how they can reach you. But before that, what do you do now?
Yeah. So what we do now is we support small businesses. So anywhere between our sweet spot is about $1 million and up in revenue. That's really where we can come in and support the business as they're making that transition, because that's from 6 to 7 figures is a really big deal. And there's a lot of things that you'll see as you pressure test your systems and processes. That's where you find things that break, right? Because it's the volume that you were able to do down here with this platform or this foundation. When you get up to the next level, some things have to change. And a lot of times what has to change is your financial team is one of those big pieces that you need to up level, because the team that got you here is not the team that's going to get you up here. And so you need a different skill set and a different level of experience and expertise, and kind of saying, here's what's going to happen next. Don't worry, we got you. Here's how to plan and be prepared for it. So, that lends to a lot of people. We're a fractional CFO company. We offer accounting solutions and tax solutions also. So a lot of people say, what's a CFO? If I'm a business owner, I hear CFO, but I think, oh, that's only for big corporations, right?
Yeah.
You don't think that it would be something that your business could benefit from or even afford. And so that was a big hole in the market that we identified, is we were just doing the accounting and the tax. And we said, but wait, these people, these business owners, they need more next level advice and strategy. And so we said, okay, we're going to service that. And so by doing that, I give the example, Dylan, a lot of times that if you're a business owner and you're driving down the road in your car, imagine that your bookkeeper and your tax preparer are sitting in the back seat. And they're looking out the back window of the car, and they're looking at what happened in the past, right? So they're reporting on where you went, what you did, how much you spent. Okay, that's their job. Then sitting in the front seat next to you, the business owner, is your CFO. And they're looking out the front windshield, telling you, here's what's coming up, here's how to plan, and here's how to be prepared. So you need everybody in the car, right? Because that, makes up the whole picture. But each of them have a very distinct skill set, and they're going to give you very different advice. So your tax preparer, they're going to tell you how to save money on taxes. They're not going to tell you how to manage and run your business like a CFO is. And your bookkeeper, their skill set, they're just going to record transactions and create those financial statements for you, make sure that everything matches what's, the actual cash that left the business is recorded properly, and that your financials are complete and accurate. And so that's where a lot of business owners get tripped up, because they think those two positions in the backseat are supposed to help them look forward, and truly they're not.
See, honestly, that's what I believed for so long, and I hear it all the time from other business owners in the area, and just anywhere I meet, really. It's like, oh, my bookkeeper, they're helping me with my taxes, or it could be a myriad of, when I hire somebody to help me with my QuickBooks or something, I think, oh, well, they should know how to do my budget and how to prepare for taxes, and they should know what categories, and even if they don't, I'll ask them to do it, because I think, well, naturally they should know numbers, so they know all this other stuff, and not even realizing the differences, and how there's a future, there's a past, and there's a present, and each one of these pieces has very different roles. So if I'm a business owner and I have a bookkeeper, why is it so important that somebody else is managing or helping see these different views?
Yeah, so one of the main things that CFO is going to do for you is help you create those schedules. We call them financial anchors, that are going to help you reach your financial goals. So when we first start with a client, we identify what are your 1 year, 3 year, 5 year financial goals. And then we say, okay, let's now look at where we're at right now. And so what we do is we create that roadmap for you to say, here's where we're at, and here's where you want to go. So this is what needs to happen in between. And what needs to happen in between is mapped out on your cash flow forecast, your budget, your staff utilization analysis, your job costing, all of those things, your key performance indicators. Those are going to tell you if you're on track to hit those 1 year, 3 year, 5 year financial goals. And so the skill set of a bookkeeper is not one that can create those schedules for you, nor have the future, of like looking at saying, okay, if you tell me you want to have $1 million in revenue next year, awesome. What's your sales conversion rate? How many leads do you need to get to? How are you spending your marketing budget? And so all of those things are the little pieces that we look at and we analyze, and we say, okay, if you want to do this, then this is what needs to happen. And we call it our predictable profit method. And so we're able to say, if you tell me you want $1 million, I'll tell you exactly what you need to do and to get there. And all the leading indicators we'll measure along the way, and we'll report back to you, you're on track or you're not. Here's what you need to do to fix, to get back on track. So super helpful. A lot of business owners don't even know that help exists. Nope. And so I think that's the first thing, is to say, hey, we have this service. This is how we can help you. And then really just, getting the word out there is really important.
Yeah, it's funny. I think as a business owner, well, me personally, and a lot of business owners I know, you are too, we're very good at like kind of visioning like what we want done and how we can help people and all these things. And implementing or delegating. But the one piece, especially if you're starting from zero and going up, or you're starting at a very low rate and you're trying to grow, that one piece of financials is something that we usually take on ourselves because, well, I don't have the money right now, or we're just growing. It's okay. I can manage it. And as long as you're doing your business well, you will grow. And so naturally, things start getting to a point where, okay, now I'm trying to figure out my marketing. I'm trying to figure out this. I'm trying to hire all these different people. I'm trying to manage employees. And before you know it, like you're so overwhelmed. And now it's an ego thing where, okay, well, I should know my numbers. And then, so instead of asking for help or, reaching out, we start Googling, right? And then it's just an overwhelming amount of work. So we just turn to one person. Hey, you do this then, or you just dump stuff on somebody expecting to give them money and they just do it. So a service like you, it's so nice that now we can breathe and somebody can say, okay, look, we're not just a bookkeeper. We're not just this. We can actually give you real advice and real numbers and real goals and tracking and, go over all that stuff and have somebody to talk through and not be scared so we can concentrate on other things in the business.
Absolutely.
Super good.
Yeah. The thing that we say to businesses, the very first thing a business owner should do when they start off is hire a bookkeeper, even if they're using them for 2 hours a month.
Okay.
That's super affordable, right? Do that because the sooner you get your numbers on track and counted, everything you need to know. What's coming in, what's going out? Am I profitable? A lot of business owners, they enjoy what they do, the doing of what they do, and they don't necessarily have the mindset of, I'm in this to make a profit. And so they don't bring in that bookkeeper because they kind of don't want to know in the beginning, and
yeah, that's true.
to be honest,
I don't even want to know. I just, I can eat, I'm good.
Right. And that's okay too. Cause I think there's definitely two different types of businesses out there. There's the business owner that wants to be doing what they're doing, and it's just a lifestyle. They just need to make enough money to not go work for someone else. And that's totally fine. That's one type of business. Then the other type of business is the business owner who is building this as an asset. The asset that's going to give you money to put aside for retirement, that's going to pay for your kids' college educations, that's going to pay for an aging parent, that's going to allow you to, live a nice lifestyle, be able to take a few vacations and do the things that you want to do. So it's really important to get clear in the beginning. Am I doing this just to not work for someone else and I just want to make enough money doing what I'm doing? Or am I building an asset? And if you're building an asset, then you look at your business entirely different. And you need to have the right team in place to help you protect that asset, build it the right way with the solid foundation so that if down the road, one of your goals is to sell it, to, pay for your retirement, then you need to make sure that asset has value and you've got systems and processes and all of your engines, the pillars of your finance, your sales, your marketing, your delivery, they're all dialed in, and then that asset will be worth a lot more money.
Yeah. And especially if you're trying to have a real valuation of your business, how are you going to do that if you just hand somebody a box of receipts and say, here's all, I don't even know,
Right? We're profitable, I swear.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, so before we get too deep into this, so if this is sounding like something you guys are interested in, I know there's so many business owners checking this out. This organization and your team and everyone on your team is just so nice and helpful and communicative. And if you guys are trying to connect with these guys, it's the cashflowcfo.com/tax prep. And tell me a little bit about that, because I noticed the tail on that. What are they getting when they go there?
Well, we put together a little special offer for your audience, and it's tax time. Yeah, and this is actually good anytime. So if you're watching this later, this is still really, really valuable because that's the thing about running a business. The tax thing, it just happens all the time, right?
Yeah.
You can't get away from it. So it's better to be prepared, be proactive, and not get a surprise when it comes time to file your taxes. So we put together some tips for you to help you get organized and be successful for the next tax time. So you can check out our website at thecashflowcfo.com and just look around. There's also lots of good stuff for you there. Or you can add that extension on and get our free guide.
All right. Love it, guys. I don't even know how many good things I can say about this. It just has offered such a relief. Just to know that somebody knows what they're actually doing too. I've gone through so many people hired and fired and let go, and people don't show up, or I go to do my taxes or turn in my information, and all of a sudden my numbers are all wrong. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what is going on? But you guys really take the time to go through. And I think one of the illusions of a business owner like myself was that, even though everything's a mess and it's taken, 8-9 years to create this giant mess, I should just hand it to you, and within a week, everything will be figured out. And, but, know that it's going to take a couple months. I mean, not like a tremendous amount of time, but to go back and forth, make sure you go line by line, really, and just checking things, categorizing things properly. And then eventually that leads to organization and knowing your goals. Well, I think the goals are first, you said, but knowing where all those pieces fit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love it. I just love feeling like I actually know how everything's running and structuring, and it's perfect.
Yeah, that's awesome. And one of the things that is, one of our core values is education. So we don't want to necessarily just do the work for you. We want to show you, here's what we're doing and why it matters, so that you as the business owner are getting that knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to make you better in all the different areas of your business, because as you know, money touches everything in your business. Every decision you make, there's a money implication of it. And so we really, like every month when we send you your financials, we're like, schedule a call. Let's talk about this. Let's go through it together. We want to have that partnership where we're really open and ask questions. It's super important for business owners. When you don't know something, don't feel dumb about it. Ask questions. Like, that's why you hire professionals, right? So they can impart their wisdom with you.
Yeah.
So that's something, a tip that I'll give to all the listeners out there is get curious about your numbers, because it's such, it's probably one of the most important parts of your business.
Don't be scared of it.
Don't be scared of it. Yeah. And if you're with a service that makes you feel dumb for asking questions,
that's a good point.
Don't be there. There's lots of other places where they'll teach you and answer your questions and give you that financial empowerment.
Now, I don't know if this is something you're kind of doing or want to talk about, but I know it's not just numbers. So you guys have kind of taken off a huge chunk of stress off of our plates. So what are the things? So you have different tiers too, I think, of levels of service you can offer.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, it's really important. So systems and procedures around your financial pillar in your business are so important, because you want to know, if this happens, this is going to happen. If this happens, this is going to happen. And it's kind of one of those where business owners they're moving so fast that they often don't have SOPs written for their financial, how things happen.
And SOP is
a standard operating procedure.
Yes.
My favorite things. I
love it.
Yeah, we have an SOP for everything in our business. And that's what makes me sleep better at night, because I know that my team is going to show up and represent the brand, me, in a way that we've already mapped out, because they've got that SOP on how they should be handling each thing that happens in the business. And all of your listeners should do the same thing. So how are you collecting money from your clients? How are you invoicing them? How are you following up on past due invoices? How are you handling billing questions? How are you recording, different types of transactions in your financial statements? All of the things that happen with, you go out and you service the client and you do a great job. But then if you do a poor job on collecting the money or making it easy for your clients to pay you, those are things that will make the delivery look poor also. So you want to
Yeah.
make sure that it's a holistic thing that you're doing. So if I come out and perform a service for you, I want to make sure that you say, oh, it was awesome. And how do I pay? And it's easy and, a smooth transaction all the way from start to finish.
Yeah. And you guys really took care of all that stuff. So I think we would just get on a call. In the beginning, it was more frequently, and it was us asking questions and your company asking questions, and then it turned into, okay, we got this. Like, and you guys, Dolores and the other gals, just really kind of laid out all the SOPs. But then it turned into something where it was kind of like I don't even know what goes on anymore. Everything is just done. And it's so nice to know that I can trust people. And yeah, perfect. Love it. So, Andrea, all this good greatness, what is the secret from running a business and having a family and all the good things that you do? Tell us, you have any advice for families and stuff moving from the big city chaos to serving community and running a family and business?
Yeah, definitely. I would say, the first thing is really just pour your heart into it. All of our clients, I love them all, honestly. And they're all people that I would, love to just go out and have a glass of wine with. We don't work with people that, life's too short to have clients that are grouchy and make life complicated for everybody. So I would say first things first is like really lead with your heart. And then the second is be really organized. So, I have husband, he has a business, I have kids, I have, all the things. And then I have a team of 12 and everybody's got their own little things in their lives, right? So there's a lot of moving pieces. But what we do is we create organization and a structure so that 90% of the time things go like they're supposed to. And there's always going to be things in life that don't go as planned. But if for the most of the time you've got something in place to handle that, it's easy to just ride, the wave of the other 10% and not get super stressed out over it.
Yeah. So it sounds like if you expect that nothing's going to go wrong and everyone's going to be perfect and everyone in your employees or people in your life, relationships, kids or anything, that if you expect that they're going to be just like you and even you're never going to make mistakes, but allowing that room for things to go wrong. And a lot of times when we see something go wrong in our personal life or business, it allows us to see what we should do to not have that happen again. So I almost get excited when something goes wrong because it allows me to take the time to make sure that we set up a system for that to not happen again. But expecting people aren't going to be perfect, they're going to make mistakes, and it's going to be okay.
Yeah. And the other thing is just to really make sure that you're surrounding yourself with good people.
I love that too.
Because my team, they are amazing human beings and they're whip smart. And I know that I can lean on them when I need it. And they can also, raise their hand and be like, this doesn't feel right. Something's wrong with either this process or this, whatever it is. And I, as the leader of the company, go, okay, well, what do you think we should do to fix it? And then that allows them to really take ownership of things. And it creates more of a team-led and run company, which really, as the business owner, takes a lot of the stress off of me because I don't feel like I need to fix everything. I hire smart people and I let them do what I hired them for, and I don't get too involved. I don't get in their way is probably a good way of saying it.
Yeah, and I heard you mention core values, and anytime I hear a company say they have core values, I love them because I know that they realize that they've took the time to discover their core values, and now like for us anyways, we run our business with core values. So now it takes away the headache of worrying about stress if a customer or employee or whatever it is just isn't right and they're violating core values. It's an easy decision now. And then trusting the people that you have around you is huge. And if you hire them off of core values or bring people around you, even in your personal life, off of those core values that you have or the business is run by, it makes life so much easier because you won't feel right, and you're like, wait a minute, this is going against a core value. We're not a good fit, and not be mad or upset or, vindictive over it. It's you know what, we're just not a good fit. I have these core values, you have yours. Let's part ways, and we'll be happy. I love that. I love it.
Yeah.
So, I usually ask questions about 302 here, but since you're not here, let's just say, what's your favorite place to eat? What's your favorite type of food?
My favorite, I think I'm actually going to make this for my daughter's birthday party tomorrow, but I'm going to make a braised short rib dinner.
Ooh, I haven't had a braised short rib in so long.
That's my favorite.
And here we go. Let's see, skipping all this stuff here. Okay, we went over the living with the family and organized. So if you guys, I'm running out of stuff to talk about with 302 here. But if you are looking to get a hold of these guys, again, go to the cashflowcfo.com. I'm going to put all the links down below so you guys can reach them. It has revolutionized our business and our life. And we're going to go for the lightning round. You ready?
Ready.
What's the best book, tool, or software or video? And why is it so great?
Teamwork. Teamwork is our task management software where we create tasks, assign them to the team members. They can log their time. They can make notes. They can attach files. We're a completely virtual company. And so that is the hub of our company. And we couldn't do what we do without it.
Oh, so it's not teamwork. It's teamwork, the software teamwork.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Teamwork software, yes.
Oh, I love it. So it's a great way to get organized. Okay.
Absolutely.
What is the biggest myth business owners need to know, and why is that? What's the truth about it?
The biggest myth to me is that they think they have to be good at all the different parts of running a business. And the truth is, you don't have to know everything in detail. You have to hire the right people for those roles and know how to, what's the outcome that you expect and have a way to measure that.
Oh, that's great. All right. And what is the biggest mistake that you've made in business?
The biggest mistake that I've made is around marketing, because clearly marketing is not my specialty, right? I'm a numbers girl. So marketing is just really understanding that I am either building an asset and I'm investing money, my marketing budget into that. So is that, a lead opt-in? Is that a funnel? Is that, a digital course that I'm training, selling? So I'm either building an asset or I'm buying a lead. And what happens with that lead when I buy it? Having a system so that I'm not just wasting my money. I bring in a lead, I nurture it. Is it the right fit? If so, I continue the conversation. If not, I, will find a place for them where I can continue to provide value for them. But I realize that not every lead is a right fit for me to have as a client. So it's all around marketing. I'm still learning as I go, but yeah.
Yeah, I love it. And I think important piece for us was when we learned that we don't go ask for the date right away or ask for marriage right away. It's,
Right.
Offer some real value and let people get to know you more and your business before you say, hey, why don't you sign up for our services? It's here, let me give something to the community and to the people and to the customer beforehand. And then naturally, those leads or those people that have raised their hand and said, oh, I like your style, I like your business, I like this information. And instead of going after a sale or something, it's, well, let me give you more. Let me, this is so much for you. I need you to know that it's going to make your life better. And in turn, they want to sign up.
Yeah,
really cool.
Absolutely. One thing I forgot to mention too, Dylan, is we have a Facebook group that business owners can pop in, and we just pour into them with all kinds of value. So,
I don't think I'm on there. I'm jealous. I'm gonna sign up.
Go to our the cashflowcfo.com, and there's a button you can click to join our Facebook group.
All right, cool. I'm going to do that, and we'll put that link down below too.
Perfect.
So if you guys are just looking for more information, or you're kind of dancing around the idea of something like this, that sounds like a great place to go to.
Yes.
All right, Andrea, what is one question I should have asked, and what's your answer?
Ooh, that's a good one. Let's say the one question is what's holding business owners back from
Ooh.
growth? Let's talk about that. And I think the answer is they're trying to do it alone. They're trying to do too many things alone instead of bringing in a team that will support them to reach their goals. And we see that a lot when business owners have tried to do their own books or tried to, they've achieved all of this growth and they don't have the financial pillar in their business built out like they should. And so it's causing them sleepless nights. And it's really because it's hindering their growth from going any higher. And it's because they're trying to figure it out themselves instead of bringing in the right team.
So baby steps, from what I've heard, then, if you're relatively small, of course, a bookkeeper, just to get at least, some organization is somebody that's only focused on that, looking at that. But then the next step would be if you're a little bit bigger or you have some bigger goals. It sounds like the first step would be to join your Facebook group, go on your website, and maybe just talk to somebody about different options and I think it's important for you guys to see where the goals and stuff are at first, and the numbers first, and then decide, okay, I think this would be best. So
yeah, absolutely.
some
And
easy baby steps.
if you're at 7 figures or above and you don't have a team like this, like we're talking about, what we do for you guys and what's available, I think that is going to be the catalyst for you hitting that next level in your business, is to look at bringing in a team like that for your financial division.
Yeah. Wow. This is really great. We're going to have you on again soon once we have hundreds of people on here. But I can't wait to put this down below and give some value to our community and let everyone see your awesomeness.
Thank you.
Andrea, thank you for being on and taking your Saturday to join us.
You're very welcome. It was my pleasure.
And guys, if you want to live the 302 lifestyle, if you're a business owner or you are trying to manage anything like this, your financials are a huge part of your life. And this is a great way to be able to live a lifestyle that you want. So I encourage you guys to check it out. In the meantime, thank you, Andrea. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Wish you could spend more time having fun and less time with chores? Go to 302beachtalk.com to get $20 off a home cleaning. You'll be entered to win a completely free cleaning. Eat, play, serve. Sponsored by That Guy with a Broom.